Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Marcus Pavilion on the campus of St. Martin's University for today's GNAC battle between the Simon Fraser Red Leaves and the St. Martin Saints. Good evening, everyone. Danny Buck alongside Rick Wells. Always great to have you along, Rick.
Always good to work with you, Danny.
And Rick, this evening, a massive game in the GNAC standings this evening. Simon Fraser coming in a record of 3-8 in conference play, and St. Martin's a record of 8-4 coming into the evening. Huge game for the Saints. Now, Rick, with all the stakes in play, what are the keys for tonight's game?
Well, I think one of the unsung heroes of basketball games, particularly winning, is the rebound story. That often goes underlooked. People look at who's doing all the scoring, but rebounding can really tell the tale in such a contest.
Rebounding has told the tale for both these two teams within the last few weeks. First, for that of Simon Fraser, their last two games they have won prohibitively in the rebound category. Last time out for Simon Fraser against Montana State Billings, they out-rebounded the Jackets by a count of 44-28. Also a 31-24 mismatch in their second to last meeting against Seattle Pacific. So Simon Fraser, they've been rebounding well for a team that's ranked third to dead last in the GNAC in rebounding. So they've picked up the pace there, but St. Martin's, they are the number one ranked team in the GNAC for rebounding. Also rebound margin, an average of 7 extra rebounds a game for the St. Martin's team, and that's going to be pivotal for them if they find some success tonight.
Particularly on the offensive end, because those putbacks often translate into points, particularly in the paint, which is a high percentage shot. Given anything further away, that'll help them. And
St. Martin's in their last meeting, last action against Western Oregon, they out-rebounded the Wolves by the count of 19-1. They'll look for more success tonight in that regard. But also, when it comes to the rebounding, there's also the scoring side, and there is quite the intriguing scoring matchup this evening.
I would agree. You know, St. Martin's has so much balance in their scoring. They have 3 guys averaging 12, 2 more averaging right near 10. So together, those 5 guys account for 56 points a game. That is really difficult, Danny, to defend. On the other side of the ball, you have Fraser with 2 of the top scoring leaders in the GNAC coming in at about almost 18 points a game, 17, 18 points a game. And so keeping everybody in check is going to make a big difference. So the defense will have to tell the story on that tonight.
It'll be important to keep in check, especially for Simon Fraser. You talk about 2 of those leading scorers. Luke Howard unavailable for this evening's game. So with Luke Howard out of the lineup, this sets the stage for more of a role for Zach Stone, who plays that rebounding role. He saw his first action this season against St. Martin's in the first meeting between these two teams, a game that was won off a buzzer beater by Irish Kokia with little time left in the game. So the last 2 meetings between these two teams have come down to buzzer beaters nearly at the horn. Last time out they played in Marcus Pavilion, man by the name of Emmanuel Oladele scored the game winner.
Yes.
Oladele not wearing the Red Leafs colors this evening, but instead that of St. Martin's tonight. We'll see if Oladele has more heroics here this evening.
I agree, Danny, that Oladele is just such a big part of the Saints' offense and defense. A great rebounder on top of it. Having him playing on this side of the court, tonight's game will make a big difference.
Make a massive difference this evening between Simon Fraser and St. Martin's. A massive game as far as the playoff standings are concerned. St. Martin's ranked in 4th in the GNAC coming into tonight behind Seattle Pacific by 1 game and Northwest Nazarene also by 1 game. And for Simon Fraser, well, their playoff picture is a little bit murky. There is a scenario they can be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss and a Montana State Billings win. And the Jackets coming into tonight, they're playing Central Washington right now. But as we are moments away from tip-off between St. Martin's and Simon Fraser, let's head down to the floor and our public address announcer, Joe DeBruni, for our starting lineups.
For tonight's GNAC matchup, featuring the Red Leaves from Simon Fraser University coming with a 3-10 record. In league, 7-16 overall against our hometown Saints, who are currently residing at 19-6 overall at 8-4 in GNAC play. Before we meet the players, at this time, would you please rise if you're able, remove your hats as we honor both Canada and the United States of America with the playing of their national anthems. Let's go ahead and meet the starters for the Red Leafs. 6'4" senior, 0, Jovan Ray. Ryan, excuse me. The 6'4" sophomore, number 2 is T. Christensen. A 6'1" sophomore, number 3, Irish, Kokia. The 6'5" sophomore, number 13, Matisse Van Dyken. And the 7' junior, number 44, is Zach Stone. Head coach is Steve Hansen, assisted by Noah Abdi and Zaya Cooper.
I don't want to straddle this one. I got it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get on your feet to meet your Saints. The 6'6" junior from Niagara, Ontario, number 4 is Emmanuel Odu-Dende. The 6'5" senior from West Palm Beach, Florida, number 5 is Miles Samuel. 5'10" senior from St. Oregon, number 11, Jake Nielsen Skinner. The 6'11" senior from Spokane County, Washington, number 33 is Gavin Gilstrap. And the 6'5" senior from Detroit, Michigan, number 55, Jake John Morris. These are Aaron Matthews, the 6 senior, Nick Coach, assisted by Kyle Vasquez, Wesley Reynolds, and Hunter Zeick. Of course, on the spotlight is the judge.
here in Lacey. Simon Fraser against St. Martin's. 28th all-time meeting between these two programs. St. Martin's owns the head-to-head by the count of 17-10 coming in. Last two games ended off of buzzer beaters. What will tonight have in store this evening? Simon Fraser, last 7 games decided by single digits, last 5 by 1 possession. And now, basketball fans, without any further ado, it's time to get down to business from Marcus Pavilion. It's the Red Leaves. It's the Saints. Basketball fans from coast to coast and around the world, here we go! Nod to Stephen James, public address announcer for Simon Fraser, for the blessing, and away we go. Irish Kokia has the ball for Simon Fraser, who gives it across for Tate Christensen. Simon Fraser played a lot of close games, record of 3-10 GNAC play this year. Kokia dropped it for Zach Stone, who cranks up a 3 and scores. What a start for Zach Stone. It's important for him to get heated up early for Simon Fraser, and he does exactly that.
That's something, Danny, when you have a 7-footer popping threes.
Healthy recipe for success for Simon Fraser. And a steal generated by Vibrant and Violent for Simon Fraser. Here's Irish Kokia. Defended by Emmanuel Oladele, former Red Leaf, straight to the bucket. Joven Rye scores for Simon Fraser. And right out of the gate, a 5-0 lead.
St. Martin's in a man-to-man, and covering that cut through the middle will be important tonight.
Here's Oladele left side. Jaden Nielsen Skinner. Closed out by Christensen. Jay-Sean Moore. Driving in on Kokia. Samuels open, skinny for 3. Popped out. And a foul on the floor. 1:31 into the game. Coaching matchup, Steve Hansen, 8th season, leading the way for Simon Fraser with a record of 41 and 121. Hansen has built Simon Fraser program from the ground up. Victor Bonsu checks in for Simon Fraser from the inline. Nielsen Skinner looks over the grid, lobbed up high for Gavin Gilstrap. Out to Nielsen Skinner. Jay-Sean Moore, his left-handed dribble, out of the reach of Oladele. Simon Fraser with the lead and the ball. So with the absence of Luke Howard and what they're missing, 8 games over the 20-point benchmark, 12 of the last 13 games in double figures. Massive loss for Simon Fraser, but Zach Stone, only a matter of time after he returned from injury against the Saints. This is his chance to shine. Kokia down the lane on Gilstrap, lost it on his way. Manuel Oladele. He'll look to slow it down. Skinny up high. Around the Gilstrap setup screen. Oladele wide open 3. You bet! Emmanuel Oladele against his former team. It's a 2-point game.
Simon Fraser did a great job on passing, moving the ball quick, causing that zone that Fraser is in to adjust. Oladele had a nice shot.
And Byland down the lane, missed it, it popped out. Nielsen Skinner advances ahead. Jay-Sean Moore from the right side. Oladele, another 3, another make. Emmanuel Oladele leads Simon Fraser 6-5.
Nice way to start the game with 2 in the bucket right away, especially from that range.
From distance, here's Kokia. Behind the back, Stone, what a find. Van Byland kicked it, Kokia. He'll back up. Irish Kokia wafted. Joven Ray down the lane, missed it. Oladele defensive board. Foul charged against Joven Ray. Tate Christensen bound to check into the game for Simon Fraser.
Fraser is attacking the man-to-man defense of St. Martin's. Very deliberate, and they're getting some really nice shots out of that. I would expect to see St. Martin's start playing a little more help with each other and anticipating that.
Samuels kicked it to Jay-Sean Moore. Nielsen Skinner finds Miles Samuels. Looking for help. Oladele wide open three. Missed it this time. Jay-Sean Moore can't claim the board thanks to Zach Stone. Irish Kokia, left wing. And Byland. Kokia through the double team. Van Byland on the drive, down the lane, short. Oladele, another defensive board for St. Martin's. Oladele, foul called. Player control foul. And that's called on Irish Kokia. First on Kokia. Dyson Lighthall checks into the game. And Simon Fraser also makes adjustment of their own. Toby Ezeokafor. Lighthall over the shoulder. Oladele left side for Miles Samuels, closing in. Samuels had it dislodged. Kokia on the run. Right side, Ezeokafor. And keep it in play. Possession will head to St. Martin's. Stoppage in play, timeout on the floor. Saints fans, get ready for homecoming weekend from February 28th through March the 2nd, which will include the Distinguished Alumni Awards on Friday, coffee with the Monks Saturday morning, a Saints doubleheader later that day, and Mass on Sunday. We are especially excited to induct the 2024 Bob Grisham Hall of Fame and Hall of Honor class on Saturday, March 1st at noon in the Worthington Conference Center. Head to stmartin.edu/homecoming to register for events and learn more. First break in play, and it's Emmanuel Oladele 6, Simon Fraser 5.
You know, Danny, I've been impressed the last couple times down the floor with Kokia's passing. He is an exquisite passer. In fact, I think he's second in the GNAC in assists. And so he is so deceptive. That last pass that I don't think his teammate even saw it coming. It sailed out of bounds. Wow. Was a great idea, kind of a look away, and I expect to see a lot of threading the needle with him tonight.
Irish Kokia, two-time 3A provincial champion in British Columbia, one of the most accomplished athletes in BC history. So a lot of accolades for Irish Kokia coming in, and that has proven to be the case during his time with Simon Fraser as we're back into play. And away we go with Jaden Nielsen Skinner advancing ahead for St. Martin's. Here's Dyson Lighthall with another three, this time not as successful as Emmanuel Oladele, out of play. Off the inline, possession remains with St. Martin's. But again, last two times these two teams met, borderline buzzer beaters from Simon Fraser to down St. Martin's, including one from Emmanuel Oladele, the opposite end of the floor last season. Miles Samuels, Saints outside of former Red Leafs from last year, still held scoreless. They do have the lead though. Here's Irish Kokia. Watched by Nielsen Skinner. Far wing, Ezeokafor. Here's a jumper put in by Zach Stone. And we'll be watching that throughout the course of the evening.
Zach Stone has a really smooth release. He's going to be a threat there. We're going to have to cover that up. St. Martin's wants to stop it.
Puts in the three, Jaden Nielsen Skinner. And the Saints lead it by 2.
That was a beautiful basket. Lined that up. Smooth release.
Kokia on Nielsen Skinner. Stone. Backed up. Kokia. Popped out of the cylinder. Saints advance ahead. Skinny again scores. Jaden Nielsen Skinner. It's a 4-point lead for St. Martin's. And Byland. Left wing side as Okafor can't connect. Oladele, another board for St. Martin's. So head coach Tyler Velasquez has got to love what he sees from his Saints, particularly from the former Red Leaf of yesteryear. Lighthall, wide open three, pulls high!
Danny, we have the duel of the post players shooting threes.
That's what Dyson Lighthall is able to do for St. Martin's. One of the best three-point percentages on the team, and that's using efficiency on full display. Blarney's is the proud post-game hub for all things Saints athletics, with delicious food, a wide plethora of drinks, weekly events, and a convenient central location. There's no better place to unwind with friends and family after a Saints doubleheader. Stop by their Olympia location at 4411 Martin Way East. And I tell you, the food over there at O'Blarney's, really good. Their chicken pasta mix, one of the best out there.
Sounds like you've eaten there, Danny.
Sure have, and it's been fantastic whenever I head out to O'Blarney's. But look at the ball game. First, it's a start with Oladele, and now Jaden Nielsen Skinner. He's carried the load for St. Martin's.
You know, Danny, I'm going to say a different angle. I think both coaches are going to have post people asking if they can be point guards. They're out there launching threes and drilling them down.
Well,
something to see.
Zach Stone seeing more of an enhanced role with the absence of Luke Howard. He hit a three, and Dyson Lighthall, we've seen him hit numerous threes, just hitting one for St. Martin. So
yeah, see, Coach, I can be a point. Let me play point next game.
Did you ever play point?
No.
Did you ever have the desire to play point?
Of course. Every kid dreams of that.
Well, dreams still left unfulfilled for Rick Wells. But back into the game we go. St. Martin's doubling up. Simon Fraser, 14-7. Here's Irish Kokia. Looking for an open option off the right leg. Exa Okafor from the right side. Van Bylen. Right side back to Van Bylen again. In the post, Zach Stone dropped it. Van Bylen down the lane. Nielsen Skinner instigated the turnover. Scrap for the loose ball. Stone comes away with possession for Simon Fraser. Here's Irish Kokia to Stone. Open and Van Bylen out to Kokia. Skipped it for Stone. What a find.
Oh, nice
Van
pass
Bylen
inside.
with the bucket.
Good patience, good cut to the seam. That was a nice play.
Matisse Van Bylen with the bucket for Simon Fraser. Lighthall wide open, Skinny. Inside, Diego Trejo Delgado. Closing, faking, shooting, missing. Tate Christensen comes away with the board. Stone runs into contact from Omar Ege Pixari. Although he didn't have much of a scoring impact against Western Oregon, the way he facilitated play last week against Western Oregon was so key in the comeback victory.
That is a critical analysis that really paid off.
Ege Pixari, part of the comeback from St. Martin's against Western Oregon. They trailed at one point, 28-13. And they rallied back and ran away with the game in the first half. Ran a comeback. Here's Irish Kokia. Dropped it, Christensen for three. No.
Nice rebound right there.
Strong rebound from Trejo Delgado. Ege Pixari dropped it. Deep shot. Harper. No. And Trejo Delgado nearly kept it in play. Possession will head to Simon Fraser. And a timeout called with 8 minutes elapsed in the first half. Well, for this live read, we'll go from a fan says Forelli's Pizza has the best pizza in Washington, as confirmed by both my dad and me. My favorite pizza is olives and cheese, but you can't go wrong no matter what you choose. If you want mid pizza, go anywhere else, but if you want great pizza, go to Forelli's. Rick Wells said by your granddaughter, Jenica.
Yeah,
great pizza at Forelli's, I'll say that.
She's a pizza maniac.
Jenica Walling finishing up her junior year, Cascade Christian, and one talented volleyball player.
Great volleyball player, and she gives Grandpa lots of delight going to games and watching.
A lot of delight. You also served as a statistician, but great run for Cascade Christian in high school ranks at the 1A level. They went to state championship game this year. We'll see what happens for Jenica Walling in year number 4, her senior year for Cascade Christian. But meanwhile, more importantly, at the moment, 14-9 game, and first there was the timeout called, and St. Martin's, talk about their scoring fray, all of a sudden scoreless for the last 2 minutes, and well, they'll have to find something here, although they did have the change personnel. Here's Jovan Rye for Simon Fraser. Tate Christensen cranks up a 3 and connects.
Wow, that was deep. That was deep.
5-0 run for Simon Fraser in the early stages. Here comes Jacob Harper closing in, kicked it. Ege Pixari discerned against the 3. Harper looped it, Trejo Delgado. Lob, Oladele open along the right side. He closes down the lane. Ege Pixari for 3, UPenn! Omar Ege Pixari, after the Saints had not scored in 2.5 minutes. Ending the drought with another made 3. How about being red hot from 3 and connecting Irish Kokia? He also can get hot for Simon Fraser. How about Ege Pixari? Not this time. With Sasha Vujicic into the game, long shot 3, missed everything on the try that came from Eza Okafor. Ege Pixari will go for a lap. Against the man-to-man defense is Simon Fraser. Oladele on Kokia. Teammate against ex-teammate. Trejo Delgado finds Lighthall, looking for help. Closing on in on Vujicic. And possession will head to
Lots
Simon
of body
Fraser.
bumping on that play, Danny.
A lot of contact. Diego Trejo Delgado is charged on the player control foul. As we inch our way towards the halfway mark of the first half. So on the floor for St. Martin's, Jay Shunmore, Ege Pixari, Trejo Delgado, Jacob Harper, Miles Samuels. Here comes Irish Kokia. He looks over the grid. Along with Tice, Van Bylant, Kokia missed on the triple. Jay Shunmore comes away with the board. Samuels in stride, slows it. Jay Shunmore, right side, Jacob Harper. How about Miles Samuels for 3? No. Jacob Harper pursues the board. Pinball straight to Irish Kokia for Simon Fraser. Kokia closing, floater in the lane and scoring off the bank. Irish Kokia able to score, and associate head coach Tyler Velasquez calls timeout. At Twin Star Credit Union, it's more than just about providing a top-notch banking experience for our members. We have a long and proud history of investing in the communities we serve. Last year, we donated more than $1 million to help support local organizations, schools, and causes. We believe that everyone benefits from strong and vibrant communities. Stop by one of our local branches or visit twinstarcu.com to learn more. Danny Bach alongside Rick Wells, 17-16 game. St. Martin's out in front, and it's been perimeter shooting that has paid massive dividends for the Saints.
Danny, we talked at the top of the show about balanced scoring, and I had questions about whether or not Fraser without Luke Howard would be able to do that. We're looking at what they've done so far. They have 5 guys that have scored, nobody with more than 5 points, so they're doing the balance.
Here's Ege Pixari. Trejo Delgado looking for Miles Samuels instead. Tate Christensen comes away with possession for Simon Fraser. Here's Joven Ray. 9:20 to go in the first half of play. Here from Marcus Pavilion. Ray impeded by Jay-Sean Moore, who watches him yet again. Ray off the Stone established screen. Ray for 3, missed it. Jay-Sean Moore with the board for St. Martin's on ahead. Omar Ege Pixari off of Matthijs Van Bylen. Possession does remain with St. Martin's.
I'm not hearing you very well.
As we do have stoppage in play. We're right back into it. Trejo Delgado missed everything. Here's Ege Pixari. He'll back up. And dribble violation called. Carry. That gives possession to Simon Fraser with 8:41 to go. A lot of games happening. 3 other games within the GNAC this evening in men's basketball. We'll go into detail about those scores momentarily. On the outside, Matthijs Van Bylen finds Tate Christensen, who puts in the triple.
Tate Christensen, the 3-point.
Simon Fraser in the lead. Ege Pixari. Trejo Delgado to Jay-Sean Moore. St. Martin's moving it well. Jacob Harper from an acute angle. Simon Fraser looks to break out. Van Bylen on Samuels. Stone had intentions of the 3. Right back out to Joven Rye. Christensen guarded heavily by Ege Pixari. Van Bylen. Rye. Wide to the right. Christensen puts in the 3. 5-point lead for Simon Fraser. Harper corrals. Here's Jay-Sean Moore. Ege Pixari. He'll slow it. Left side, Harper spins. Jay-Sean Moore out to Trejo Delgado for 3. No. Harper, the offensive board. Trejo Delgado closing in, missed on the layup. Pinball out of play. Possession stays with St. Martin's. Daniel Adele and Jaden Nielsen-Skinner check in for the Saints. Timeout call.
You know, Danny, it is probably too early to say much about it, but the turnover department, St. Martin's has 5 to just 2 turnovers to Fraser. So I'm not sure that really matters quite so much right now, but taking care of the ball will matter in the long run.
Taking care of the basketball will be important. Simon Fraser comes in to this game, well, dead last as far as keeping possession. They're ranked 10th in turnovers in the conference. St. Martin's ranked at 6, but a 22-17 lead for Simon Fraser, and an optimistic start. And you always question when you don't have one of your key stars. Luke Howard unavailable for the evening, but the job that Tate Christensen has done, 3 made threes for Simon Fraser, truly carrying the load for the Red Leaves offense.
I would think that St. Martin's would have practiced this whole week for Luke Howard. And then all of a sudden you show up at the gym and he's not playing. And now you're playing a different personality that has different moves, not something you prepared for. So it will take some adjustment here in an early game to get, back in the rhythm with that.
With Zach Stone seeing more of the workload, added 3 inches of height. Stone is 7 feet tall. Nielsen-Skinner tried to score on Stone before Matthijs Van Bylen instigates the Simon Fraser possession. Irish Kokia launched. Stone out to Joven Rye. Rye spins, shook off Jay Sean Moore. A player control foul called on Joven Rye.
St. Martin's playing a really tough man-to-man right now, but when you do that, you need help from your teammates. And they got that help that time down the key, and it shut that drive right off. It's well done.
Great work provided by St. Martin's. Samuels to Oladele, Nielsen Skinner. Navigating on Rye. Oladele. Around Lighthall, impeded in a steal. Matthijs Van Bylen stretched for Irish Kokia. Van Bylen able to generate the foul call. Matthijs Van Bylen led on Irish Kokia. And Van Bylen awarded with an attempt on the way from the free throw line. Matthijs Van Bylen, 69% from the free throw line. Van Bylen, first attempt, pinballs in. So again, Simon Fraser, they need a win for their fourth in the conference. Should they lose this evening and Montana State Billings win, Simon Fraser would be eliminated from postseason contention. And they're not getting the help they need from Billings. Jackets are up by 11. They've just started the second half. Here's Irish Kokia. Defended by Jacob Harper. Kokia, leading scorer. Stone right back to Kokia. So talented with the basketball. Irish Kokia on Harper. And play comes to a screeching halt with 6:05 to go. And this foul on Jacob Harper. So in for Simon Fraser. Checks Victor Bonsu. Kokia to inbound from the end line. Sword out to Bonsu. Kokia on Nielsen Skinner. Stone to Kokia. He'll back up. Irish Kokia puts up a J that popped out. Stone got a piece of it. Kokia has it again. Van Bylen. Defended by Oladele. And lost out of play by Van Bylen. And possession heads to St. Martin's down by a touchdown.
It'll be important to get a shot off and get a bucket this trip down. The last two, St. Martin's has turned the ball over, so let's see what we can do here.
Ige Pixari with speed. No clamp on the brakes. Nielsen Skinner finds Jacob Harper from the left pocket. He'll go for a lap and drive. Oladele, the offensive board, with the putback. Emmanuel Oladele up to 8 points in the first half. Here's Irish Kokia. Kokia looks to shake off Nielsen Skinner. Stone wide open three. No. Offensive rebound leads to the bucket from Matthijs Van Bylen. Beg your pardon, Victor Bonsu scoring for Simon Fraser. Harper. Ige Pixari spots Nielsen Skinner open off the Oladele established screen. Here's Ige Pixari, rolled off the tin. Stone, the rebound for Simon Fraser, stretched at Van Bylen. Rolled off the saddle and out. Nielsen Skinner races ahead. Jaden Nielsen Skinner straight to the bucket. Gavin Gilstrap impeded. Second try, Gilstrap's able to score. Back-to-back buckets for St. Martin's. Able to cancel what at one point was a 14-2 run by Simon Fraser. Kokia, Stone, what a pass. Van Bylen on Oladele. Van Bylen blocked by Oladele out of play. With 4:01 to go in the first half. Miles Samuels, Dyson Lighthall set to check in. Joven Rye also head in for Simon Fraser's regard. A 5-point game. We emphasize the rebound battle, and
17-14 in rebounds right now, so it's pretty even.
long way to go, although it is point of emphasis. Saints with that slight edge. Egg Apex, sorry, finds Lighthall, who is fouled. And the foul call called on Toby Okafor. That's his first. Timeout called with 3:51 left in the first half. Vert Chiropractic is dedicated to providing top-notch care to the community of Lacey, Washington, and are proud partners of Saints Athletics. They prioritize the well-being of their patients, and their skilled team of professionals, state-of-the-art facilities, and wide array of services make for an extremely welcoming and comfortable environment. Head to vertchiropractic.org to learn more. Danny Vaca alongside Rick Wells, and it's been a battle that has been toe-to-toe between St. Martin's and Simon Fraser. With 4 minutes left, Simon Fraser playing very much up to the level of competition.
You know, Danny, St. Martin's is struggling right now in shooting. They're 8 for 25 from the floor, so just 32%. You know, you're as a coach, you're of course hoping for something better than that, but hopefully they can get warm and heat up a little bit here.
St. Martin's, in their last 6 3-point tries, they've only made 1. Sign of how the offense has gone cold for St. Martin's. And remember, that's how St. Martin's was able to jump out to their early lead. A lot of it was because of shots from beyond the perimeter.
Correct. And I haven't seen Oladele get that shot. They being Fraser has adjusted to him on the perimeter, so be looking for a way to get open, I'm sure.
So here is Dyson Lighthall at the line. First attempt is put in. Dyson Lighthall, not a good free throw percentage, 56%. Hopes to change that here. And he remains 50%. Here's Irish Kokia. Next to Okafor. Stone. He'll survey. Out to Irish Kokia. On Jaden Nielsen-Skinner. Joven Rye on Miles Samuels. Rye missed it, defended well by Lighthall. Here's Miles Samuels. 3:14 to go. Samuels finds Lighthall in the post on the drive, and scoring. Lighthall, Kokia had it bounce straight to Joven Rye. Flashed into the corner. Bunsu missed on the triple attempt. Samuels instigated ahead. Here's Omar Ege Pixari. He looks to buy time for the Saints. Nielsen-Skinner finds Lighthall again in the post, and he scores again! Dyson Lighthall buckets on back-to-back possessions for the Saints, and it's a tie game at 26.
St. Martin's owns the points in the paint battle right now, Danny. They're ahead 10-6 in that high percentage area.
Skipped inside, Stone lunges to the bucket. And Lighthall again, another defensive play for St. Martin's. Miles Samuels, wide open three. No, Lighthall punches one straight to Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, who loses the ball. Bunsu came away with it for Simon Fraser. Exa Okafor is fouled. Foul goes against Miles Samuels. 2 minutes left in the first half.
Great help side defense, team defense on that drive. That's what St. Martin's is hoping to get on those slice and dices to the hoop.
Talk about Basketball being a game, scoring runs and momentum. First, it was St. Martin's that went cold. Meanwhile, here is Toby Eza-Okafor at the line, who puts in the free throw to put Simon Fraser up. But St. Martin's originally was on a 7-0 scoring run. Last 3 minutes in a 9-2 run in the last 4.5. That's all changed with the free throw from Eza-Okafor, looking to go 2 for 2. And he puts them both in. 2-point lead for Simon Fraser. Trejo Delgado spots Jacob Harper. Whitehall with the handle. Harper for 3. Not this time. Rebound, vultured in by Sasha Vucic for the Red Leafs. Here's Irish Kokia. He gives a gander. Eza-Okafor spots Van Bylen. Kicked it. Corner 3. Christensen missed it. Try from Bonsu. Kept alive. Van Bylen to Kokia. Skipped up high. Here's Vucic. Long 3. Kokia! Irish Kokia.
He had plenty of time to line that one up. Nobody in sight on defense.
5-point lead for Simon Fraser. Ege Pixari. Lob for Lighthall. He corrals. Dyson Lighthall. Defended by Vucic. On the end line. Haltage of play. Foul called. Judge against Sasha Vucic. 57 seconds left. 56 and a half to be precise. Samuels. What a find. Trejo Delgado with the bucket. 47 seconds left in the half. Kokia, while Airborne missed on the try, Jay-Sean Moore is fouled by Matthijs Van Bylen.
Get a chance to put some points on the board with the clock not moving right here. These are big free throws for St. Martin's.
With St. Martin's in the bonus. So here is Jay-Sean Moore at the free throw line, 68% with the 1-1. And Jay-Sean Moore puts in the first attempt. That's huge. Jay-Sean Moore was injured for a month and a half, did not play, and now he's seen more of a role for St. Martin's here in Landon-led squad. 35 seconds left in the half. Here's Irish Kokia. Eza-Okafor. Distance call. Rebound. Sasha Vucic. Here's Irish Kokia. 6-second disparity between the shot clock and the game clock. Exposed out of play. And St. Martin's can hold for the final shot.
That was a big break for the Saints to get that turnover with 17 seconds left. Get a chance to go into the locker room with the lead.
Here is Ege Pixari. Trejo Delgado, pinball. Van Bylen in on a breakaway. He scores. Matthijs Van Bylen, 3 seconds left in the half. And another steal. Van Bylen on the drive, and that's the way the first half comes to a frantic close. Simon Fraser with a 33-30 lead on St. Martin's as we head into the break. Simon Fraser team that has played tough 7 games in a row, and they are doing just that against St. Martin's. As we head into halftime, Danny Buck alongside Rick Wells. Simon Fraser, although on the road trip, doesn't seem as if they're playing on the road. They're right at home here in Marcus Pavilion.
It does seem like that, Danny. You know, the last time they played here, they Fraser won it at the buzzer, the last few seconds. They won in the last few seconds up at their place. Last time these two teams have met have been decided at the buzzer. You know, usually the home court advantage statistically is worth about 10 points. Just because you're familiar with it as a home team and your crowd's for you and the other factors that play into that. That doesn't seem to phase Fraser at all. you know, they're just coming here and playing like this is their gym.
They have done that throughout the course of this game. And for Simon Fraser, it hasn't truly been one player that's been hurting St. Martin's. It's been a collective effort. We talked about the scoring depth for St. Martin's. How about the story for Simon Fraser and their scoring?
There are 7 guys for Fraser that have scored. So it is good balance. You know, that kind of happens sometimes when one of your leading scorers goes down with an injury, he's out in the game. Other guys just dig deep and they take on that role and rise to the occasion. And it appears that that's what's happening here tonight.
And one of the key stats that stood out for Simon Fraser as of the last 2 games, second chance points. In their most recent game against Montana State Billings, it was Simon Fraser that outmatched Billings in second chance points 16-4. And then against Seattle Pacific 2 games ago for them, they outscored Seattle Pacific in second chance points 14-2. So far in this game, second chance points, Simon Fraser does have the edge 7-4. So a minimal margin to begin this game. But you mentioned, Rick, the scoring, Tate Christensen, all his points coming off a trio of threes. And for Zach Stone, he is so pivotal on the boards when you stand 7 feet tall. Only 3 rebounds so far in the game, maybe a little bit of a surprise.
You know, Danny, you talked about second chance points. Well, those come generally off an offensive board. You get the rebound, you get a comeback, and that's right now almost dead even between both teams. Again, at the top of the show, we talked about the expertise of St. Martin's in rebounding and how they lead the conference. And right now, the tail of the tape for rebounding is almost dead even between both teams, offensively and defensively. So Fraser has definitely risen to the occasion to hit the boards.
And they have responded to the call. But for St. Martin's, 2 leading scorers, Manuel Oladele, he hit 2 threes right out of the gate. And then Dyson Lehal, he has 8 points in a tie with Oladele for the scoring lead. And we mentioned the balance in scoring. St. Martin's, they also have numbers scoring on their end.
They do. They have 7 guys that have scored for them as well. It is really difficult when you have that kind of balance to play team defense, because team defense requires me to help my buddy. If he's getting beat, I've got to come over and give help side relief. I've got to fake and recover, and I have to vacate my man to do that. And both teams have excellent point guard passers. And Kokia's a great passer. Nielsen Skinner leads the conference in assists. They will find the open guy when help is being applied defensively.
And they will find that help. And look at, as far as help is concerned, from around the conference, 3 of the games happening in the GNAC this evening. One of them already has gone final, Western Washington against Western Oregon. And it was the Vikings of Western Washington that earned the victory over Western Oregon by the count of 87-78. Tijan Sane had himself an okay game, Rick. How about 4 of 6 from 3, 15 for 15 on free throws, and 37 points.
That's incredible. Wow.
Tijan Sane will be at Marcus Pavilion on Saturday when Western Washington comes to town to take on the Saints. Will Wilson had 14 points for Western Washington against Western Oregon this evening. And for Western Oregon, for scoring, Javille Collins with 16 points, Anjay Cortez and Zach Moore with 10 points. Jason Gallant, great to see him back in the lineup for Western Oregon after missing last week's game against St. Martin's. He puts up 15 points for Western Oregon in the defeat. With that loss, Western Oregon is eliminated from playoff contention. And for Simon Fraser, if they were to lose tonight and Montana State Billings were to win, then Simon Fraser would be eliminated from playoff contention at the moment. They're at the midway point of the second half out in Billings, and it's MSUB with a 59-48 lead on Central Washington, where Kyle Robinson, another explosive night, 23 points for MSUB. Brendan Johnson with 14 points. Jalen Tott with 11 for MSUB. And for Central Washington in the scoring department, you talk about balanced scoring. 9 different Wildcats scoring for Brandon Rinta's Central Washington side. Mitch Brazee, leading scorer, with 10 points. This with 10 minutes left in the second half. Another game happening in the GNAC. They have just gotten underway. Battle between Northwest Nazarene and Seattle Pacific. And in the early moments, Seattle Pacific has jumped out to an early lead on NNU. A game that carries specific interest to St. Martin's. Well, actually, another score update. Northwest Nazarene, midway mark of the first half, they lead Seattle Pacific 19-15. St. Martin's 1 game back of Seattle Pacific. And, well, 1 game back of Northwest Nazarene. So a lot of the playoff picture can shape with this game. St. Martin's women's basketball is idle this evening as they will head down to Monmouth to take on Western Oregon. So we do have the standings here in the GNAC with the entire picture of how the GNAC playoffs is playing out, and with Northwest Nazarene and Seattle Pacific playing this evening, Rick, that leads to a very important game for St. Martin's to win tonight.
That would be so pivotal in seeding for the tournament, in positioning for league standings. It'll be interesting to find out how that game turns out and how this game turns out we're looking at.
So Western Washington with the win. This is updated to the minute. Western Washington 8-6 in GNAC play, and they're on the cusp of clinching a playoff berth. St. Martin's, there is a scenario they can clinch a GNAC playoff berth. They have to win tonight, and then on Saturday they would need to defeat Western Washington, and they would have to hope that Alaska Fairbanks loses to Alaska Anchorage. That game will take place ahead of the game on Saturday, so there could be a case and scenario if Alaska Anchorage beats Alaska Fairbanks that Western Washington and St. Martin's could be playing to clinch a playoff spot on Saturday. Boy, that would be a fun scenario if that were to take place.
That would be. It would be quite the encouragement to know that before the game going in, that this game is a playoff game. I mean, we're getting ready. Let's go.
Let's go. And speaking of let's go, Simon Fraser's women's team in action this evening. They're taking on Alaska Fairbanks at the half. Simon Fraser getting all that they can handle against Alaska Fairbanks. Simon Fraser of a 36-35 lead at the half. Jessica Wazotsky, beg your pardon, Sophia Wazotsky, I got her sister. Sophia Wazotsky with 12 points at the half. Rylan Quirk with 8 for Simon Fraser. Destiny Reimers, quiet first half, only 8 points for Alaska Fairbanks. That's the story across the GNAC this evening. Also action in the sports world as far as the Four Nations hockey tournament. United States taking on Finland this evening, and it has been the domination of the Tkachuk brothers. Matthew Tkachuk, who plays for the Florida Panthers. He has 2 goals and an assist. His brother Brady, who plays for Ottawa, has 2 goals for the United States as they lead Finland by the count of 6-1. Connor Hellebuck has made 18 saves in the contest, 2:30 left in the game, and it has been for the United States. Jake Getzel and Matt Boldy have the other goals for the United States, and for Finland, the lone goal scorer is Henri Jokiharju, former Portland Winterhawk. So the United States with the edge on Finland, the Four Nations hockey tournament. But as we are moments away from the start of the second half, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back after this on the Saints Digital Network. Second half moments away between Simon Fraser and St. Martin's. Always talk about how do teams respond out of the half. Simon Fraser with the lead. And this is only the 6th time all season Simon Fraser has had the lead at the half. Overall record of 3-2 when they've led. St. Martin's, when they are in the lead, record of 14-2, but they're trailing. Their record when behind at the half, 4-4.
Pressure is on them, Danny.
Pressure is on the postseason run. Heading to the forefront here from Marcus Pavilion and Lacey. And away we go with the second half. Saints alternating possessions begin with the basketball. Miles Samuels closing in on Irish Kokia. Jay-Sean Moore's jumper pops in, and it's a 1-point game, 14 seconds in. Be important to take care of the basketball for both teams throughout the course of the second half.
You know, Danny, a standout stat at halftime defensively goes in favor of Fraser. They lead in the steals department 8-2 in the first half.
Simon Fraser, a team only 7th in steals in the conference compared to St. Martin's, who's it with another one, ranked second. Popped in the air, volleyballed by Jay Sean Moore. Kokia stretched it on ahead for Jovan Rai. He'll close in on Oladele and score. Here comes Jaden Nielsen Skinner, coast to coast, and scoring. Jaden Nielsen Skinner scores. It's a 1-point game.
In the opening minutes here of this half, Danny, it's been full speed.
Full speed, full pace early on.
Of course, right when I say that now, Fraser's being a little more deliberate, but
Rye blew an edge. Possession will stay with Simon Fraser. 1:23 into the second half. From the end line, Kokia dishes out to Jovan Rai, who is guarded by Miles Samuels. Rai closing on Samuels, kicked it out. Zach Stone missed on the triple attempt.
St. Martin's in a man-to-man, had to provide help on that play, which gave Stone that free open shot.
Don't want to leave Stone open. 50% three-point shooter. Jay Sean Moore down the lane. Not enough. Irish Kokia. Stone surveys, faked by Kokia. He looks over the grid. Kokia on Gilstrap. Stone on Moore. Zach Stone hops straight to Gavin Gilstrap. Nielsen Skinner left it behind. Van Bylen able to come up with the loose change, and a timeout called by Simon Fraser. Steve Hansen, a very smart timeout. With a break in play, Panowitz Jewelers in Olympia is the best place to find unique designer pieces and timeless classics while also getting the service you deserve. With an OnStar repair shop and custom design services, they are one of the best jewelers in the South Sound for all of your jewelry needs. Learn more by heading to Panowitz.com. And to stay up to date on all things Saints, be sure to check out our social media at SMU Saints or by heading to our website, smusaints.com. And on YouTube, we do have our Coaches Show every week. And we look forward to having Coaches Show continuing also into spring sports. One other fixture of the Saints Digital Network. This past week, we spoke to Diego Trejo Delgado, and what a story for him after playing basketball all his life in Mexico, his senior year of high school, deciding, you know what, I'm going to head out to the United States, don't know any English, and after only one season, he makes the jump all the way to St. Martin's. An incredible story. That's
a great story of perseverance, hard work ethic, commitment, the whole show. That's what you're hoping. That's what you're hoping for in athletes.
Diego Trejo Delgado. Check it out. Saints Digital Network on our YouTube page as you're watching at home. After the game, of course, here's Zach Stone. He gives to Jovan Rai. Wide open three. He puts it in. Jovan Rai deposits the three-pointer. A 4-point lead for Simon Fraser. Here's Miles Samuels. He looks to close in. Samuels from the right block, impeded by Kokia. And possession will, after second thought, stay with the Saints. From the end line, here's Jaden Nielsen Skinner. Lobbed up high for Gilstrap. For Oladele to Miles Samuels. Faked by Christensen. Spun by Samuels, who launches one. Unable to score. Gavin Gilstrap is there. No basket. And a foul called. Charged against Simon Fraser. Called on Matthijs Van Bylen. Back in play. Oladele out to Miles Samuels. Off the foot of Jovan Rye. This heads into the backcourt. St. Martin basketball. 3:03 elapsed time in second half. Miles Samuels. Sorry, partner, on Van Bylen. Samuels closes. Oladele for three. Missed everything. Kokia. Stop and go for Zach Stone. Kokia. Trying to shake off Oladele. He'll crank up a three and miss. Van Bylen can't come away with the loose ball, and possession will head to St. Martin's, down by 4.
This will be an important trip down the floor for St. Martin's if they want to keep this game within range.
They have been scoreless for about 3 minutes. Oladele. Gilstrap to Nielsen Skinner. Defended by Stone. Down the lane, Jason Moore rolled off the tin. Here's Jovan Rye. From the right side, closing in Rye, wide open Kokia, missed on the triple. How about Kokia again? Stone, he'll close in. Van Bylen on Gilstrap, wide open Stone, you bet.
You know, Danny, we were talking about second chance opportunities off of offensive boards. That happened right there.
Keep that in mind with the offensive board battle. It has been even all night. Saints with slim edge in that category, 27-24. And there is a stoppage. Timeout called one way or the other. So because of that, through innovative products and services, Twin Star Credit Union is committed to helping its 250,000 plus members achieve financial success. Because we're a not-for-profit credit union, we focus on what matters most, helping the people and communities we serve thrive. At Twin Star, you'll find unmatched service. Here, we're on a first-name basis with our members. Stop by one of our local branches or visit twinstarcu.com to learn more.
You know, Danny, a statistic that's worth noting, both teams have only shot 4 free throws the whole game.
Incredible.
And, you know, Fraser is 4 for 4, and the Saints are 3 for 4. So we haven't seen a lot of trips to the line in this game.
Not a lot of fouls called so far in the second half. St. Martin's did go into the bonus, close out the first half. But what stands out early on, Simon Fraser, they are playing one heck of an effort. Last 3 minutes, 6-0 run. Now that's how you secure a lead.
That's how you secure a lead. I agree with that.
Jaden Nielsen Skinner, 3 of 4 in his last field goal attempts, as is Dyson Lighthall. Tate Christensen, also the same. In fact, he's made 3 of 4 as far as 3-pointers are concerned. A lot of trends, a lot of numbers. One that matters the most, 7. Simon Fraser in front. Jaden Nielsen Skinner launched it. Jay-Sean Moore on Tate Christensen. Ege Pixari back to Jay-Sean Moore. Trejo Delgado down low. Closing in, straight to the bucket. Massive score for St. Martin's. It's a 5-point game.
That was a big bucket for the Saints.
Here's Irish Kokia. Stone establishes the screen. Kokia finds Stone in the post. Kicked it right back to Kokia. Irish Kokia to Stone for 3. Missed it. Trejo Delgado comes away with offensive rebound for St. Martin's. Ege Pixari on Van Bylen. Jay-Sean Moore. Back to Ege Pixari. Nielsen Skinner. Looped up high. Lighthall. Ege Pixari wide open. Trejo Delgado with the 3.
That makes it a one possession game, Danny. That was a big shot as well.
Kokia to Stone. Can Simon Fraser answer? Deep shot popped out from Exa Okafor. Ege Pixari. He'll slow it down for the Saints. Lighthall, 4-3, no. Exa Okafor. Kickstarts Simon Fraser. Van Bylen to Stone on Lighthall. Zach Stone short. Stone has it again. Christensen from deep. Not this time. Moore ventures ahead. Jay-Sean Moore lost it up high. Stolen away by Christensen. Kokia on the run. Irish Kokia. No basket called. Foul charged on the floor with the contact on Kokia by Ege Pixari. Charged with his second. Jacob Moore will check in place of Jay-Sean Moore. Kokia will inbound from the inline. And with how well these two teams have played in recent weeks, one possession game, no surprise. Stone unable to corral the pass. Saint basketball. The drama continues to build with the implications, GNAC standings hanging in the balance. Nielsen Skinner shoots a long two and puts it in. And the game is tied.
Nice little comeback right there by the Saints in the last few minutes. Staying poised, staying focused, playing good defense. Paid off for them.
Saints have scored the last 5. Rye given. Exa Okafor is fouled by Trejo Delgado.
We were talking about turnovers earlier, Danny. St. Martin's has 13 turnovers to just 8 for Simon Fraser, so that's playing a part in this close game.
Kokia dished it inside. Exa Okafor out to Kokia. Irish Kokia with 7 points in the game. Kokia spot up, put it in off the bank. And the officials don't know whether that's a 3 or not. So we continue. Harper out to Nielsen Skinner. Lighthall closing off his right foot. Shuffled inside. Ege Pixari scores. And for the moment, it's a 1-point game.
Nice little shovel pass by Lighthall on that. Picks up a nice assist.
Ege Pixari picks up his third. They'll eventually review the shot from Kokia, whether it was a 3 or a 2. The officials, they looked at each other and they said, well, I don't know. But the officials doing a tremendous job, and it always helps when you have the benefit of replay. The officials are unpacking the foul call. So the officials will review the Kokia shot. All this with 12:27 to go. An important basket. And the officials rule the shot to be a 2.
Must have been on the line.
From our vantage point, it looked as if he was on the line. Then again, that's in real time. Nielsen Skinner. St. Martin's with numbers. Skinny dropped it. Lighthall in stride. Pinballed out. Exa Okafor advances the other way for Simon Fraser. So here is Jovan Rye. Exa Okafor will head to the left side. Rye gives to Van Bylen. Christensen. Rye up high. on Nielsen Skinner. Closing down the lane. Backing up on Nielsen Skinner. Out to Stone, a 4-3. It sailed on its traverse. Trejo Delgado in alone. Diego Trejo Delgado is fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line. Diego Trejo Delgado left all alone. Zach Stone called for his first foul. Timeout called with 11:39 to go, and the officials will now review the shot from Irish Kokia. Again, fans, get ready for homecoming weekend from February 28th through March the 2nd, which will include the Distinguished Alumni Awards on Friday, Coffee with the Monks Saturday morning, a Saints doubleheader later that day, and Mass on Sunday. We are especially excited to induct the 2024 Bob Grisham Hall of Fame and Hall of Honor class on Saturday, March 1st at noon in the Worthington Conference Center. Head to stmartin.edu/homecoming to register for events and learn more. Should be a fun day on said March the 1st. A lot happening as far as St. Martin's athletics is concerned, not to mention the Bob Grisham Hall of Fame, Hall of Honor class being inducted. St. Martin's baseball will be in action against Central Washington, and a doubleheader. The women and the men take on Alaska Anchorage. All that in one day. You got a
busy day.
A lot of busyness coming on March the 1st. With 11:39 left, officials still reviewing the three, and it seems as if they have come up with their ruling.
Danny, I'm looking at points in the paint, and St. Martin's has slowly been widening that gap. They have 20 points in the paint to just 10 for Fraser. And, of course, in the paint, that's always a higher percentage shot. And in my mind, I'm crediting those points to this kind of a little mini comeback and sitting at a tight score. Of course, now it's not tight. They just
They called it a three.
They called it a three, evidently.
So Irish Kokia's shot that was near the line. Tough to see, but with the review, they checked it over, and that's the benefit of replay.
They checked it twice. I mean, the first time they thought it was a two, and then they reviewed it again. So it must have been really close.
Good on the officials for checking to make sure it's the right call. We do appreciate our officials all across the board, across the GNAC. 11:39 to go. Diego Trejo Delgado missed on the first free throw. 58% free throw shooter coming in. This to tie the game. Trejo Delgado can't do it. Sasha Vucic comes away with the rebound for Simon Fraser. And here is Jovan Rye. It's gone final. Montana State Billings a winner against Central Washington. Van Bylen off the glass. Nielsen Skinner comes away, swooping for the loose ball for St. Martin's. Backdoor pass. Lighthall right back to Skinny again. Jaden Nielsen Skinner finds Ege Pixari. He'll back up on Exa Okafor. Ege Pixari missed on the three-point attempt. Rebound, Exa Okafor. Nielsen Skinner, safety, comes in with the ball. No look pass for Lighthall, gave it away. Christensen. Here comes Jovan Rye. 10:40 left. Here's Christensen. Up high to Vucic. Jovan Rye from left free throw line. Extended Rye with a shot. Impeded Vucic, a try that doesn't go. Trejo Delgado skipped it. Ege Pixari scores. And the Saints are in the lead.
That was great body control by Pexari right there. Full speed, no stop, lay it right in without a dribble. That was awesome.
Wasted no time. Rye. Van Bylen out to Jovan Rye. He'll shoot a long three and miss. Saints hoping to change momentum. Pexari goes for a lap. Omar Ege Pexari. Jaden Nielsen Skinner slows it on Rye. Whitehall emerges. Harper parked in the left pocket. Ege Pexari out to Nielsen Skinner to Trejo Delgado. 8 to shoot. Ege Pexari. Harper in the corner. Pulls high!
Nobody on him.
Jacob Harper left all alone, and the Saints lead by 4.
He had plenty of time to range find that one.
Van Bylen. Christensen spins on Harper down the lane. Tate Christensen skied out for Jovan Rye. 8 seconds to shoot. Rye. Van Bylen recoiled. 3 seconds on the shot clock. And he is able to generate the foul on Nielsen Skinner. What a play. Matthijs Van Bylen, knowing that he had to attempt a low percentage shot, not only forces Nielsen Skinner to commit the foul, but he'll have a trio of shots. So a 4-point lead for St. Martin's. Matthijs Van Bylen, 69% free throw shooter, misses on the first. 8:56 left in the game. Van Bylen puts in the second. An array of substitutions. Zach Stone and Irish Kokia check in. And Miles Samuels and Emmanuel Oladele on the floor for St. Martin's. Jovan Rye also subbing out. Didn't realize it. Simon Fraser almost was playing with 6 men. We saw that in the women's game.
No wonder he was open, Danny.
Saw that in the women's game, oddly enough, in Marcus Pavilion. Seattle Pacific and St. Martin's, and there was 6 women on the floor. Officials quickly changed that. 3-point lead. Oladele off his foot. Simon Fraser basketball with 8:50 to go. Here's Irish Kokia. Van Bylen through the backcourt. They'll cross with Irish Kokia. Exa Okafor out to Kokia again. Van Bylen looks for help and finds Zach Stone. On Emmanuel Oladele, and foul called. Charged against the former Red Leaf. We head down the stretch. Last 2 games between these 2 teams. Buckets scored in the final second have won games for Simon Fraser. And timeout called by Steve Hansen and Simon Fraser.
You know, Danny, one of the statistics that is starting to become more critical is the turnover rate. St. Martin's has 15 turnovers to just 9 by Fraser. And at this stage of the game, getting down to the waning minutes, taking care of the ball is really going to be important.
Be important not only to handle the basketball well, scoring has to be there, and again, game of momentum. St. Martin's last 4:23 has outscored Simon Fraser 7-1. They have gone cold, have the Red Leafs 1 of 10 from the field. Their last series of shots, 1 for 6 from 3. This Simon Fraser team ranked 3rd in the conference in 3-point shooting, averaging 36% on the season. And they're a cut below that average at 31%. So 3-point game, and although there is the record disparity coming in, St. Martin's 8-4, Simon Fraser 3-10. Simon Fraser, in their last 7 games, all of them in single digits, 5 of them by 1 possession. And there's
The
a
record could be just the opposite.
could be very deceiving. On the other hand, for St. Martin's, they had probably the most brutal 2-week stretch you could ever imagine, losing 2 games off buzzer beaters. 1 to Simon Fraser when Irish Kokia hit a 3 from deep on the left side, and Tijan Sane, who scored 38 points tonight for Western Washington, he had a game-winning runner down the lane.
It's tough to lose at the buzzer. You'd almost rather lose by 20.
You got that right at times. Kokia on Harper, defended well, skied, nobody in the zip code. Joven Ryan just over his head. 8:14 left, Saints with the lead and the basketball.
Saints have a chance to extend that with this possession.
Can they do it here on a 7-1 run? Ege Pexari, Antonio Sinskinner. Marched it, Harper, growled it by a thin margin. Ege Pexari off the Oladele screen. Given to Nielsen Skinner. Backs up, turns, spots up, and shoots when they rolled off the rim and out. Rye. 7:45 to go. Rye on Samuels, dropped it to Kokia again. 2-time provincial champion of British Columbia. Watched by Emmanuel Ladele, the former Red Leaf. Ray. Closing on Harper. Out to Kokia, around Ege Pexari, and scoring. What a move from Irish Kokia.
Great move and a tough shot, and he was successful on that. That was a pretty thing to watch.
Harper closes down the lane and scores. Jacob Harper gives the Saints a 3-point lead with 7 minutes left. Kokia, shaken big, Van Bylen. Next to Okafor, to Van Bylen again, long 3, Christensen connects.
Whoa.
From NBA range, we're tied at 50.
Yeah, he shot that from East Tacoma. That was a long ways.
That's about 40 minutes away, still long distance. Oladele out to Miles Samuels, closing on next to Okafor. He'll kickstart again and shoot the jumper. That popped out. Loose ball. Christensen comes away for Simon Fraser. Kokia slows it. 6:20 left. Van Bylen. To Joven Rye. Rye from the right pocket. Closing, backdoor feed, and scoring. Tobe Exa Okafor. Nielsen Skinner. Simon Fraser with a 2-point lead. To Miles Samuels. Ege Pexari surveys the man-to-man defense. Simon Fraser, Oladele. Off of Van Bylen's foot. 5:41 to go in the game. With look at scoreboard, an important game. Seattle Pacific and Northwest Nazarene. Game with interest for the Saints community. Christensen comes away with a loose ball. Seattle Pacific up early moments of the second half, 34-32. Closing in, Joven Rye. Skipped it. Stone to Kokia with 5:18 left. Kokia. Rye tells Christensen to go. He does. Kokia spots up a 2. Impeded by Trejo Delgado, and a foul in the aftermath called against Irish Kokia. More of a frustration foul.
Kokia and Christensen are tied with the scoring lead for Fraser. They both have 12. Nobody else is in double figures. Nobody for St. Martin's in double figures.
So here is Jacob Harper. Ege Pexari Closing on in and scoring. Counting in the foul for Omar Ege Pixari.
Chance to make this a three-point play. That was a dynamite basket.
What a play from Omar Ege Pixari through the contact. A chance for the lead for the 78% free throw shooter for the Saints. And he does it. And a lane violation.
He's going to get another chance at it.
Zach Stone jumped early. So Ege Pixari with a mulligan. And the reprieve, the saving grace for Omar Ege Pixari, the Saints in the lead. So here comes Irish Coquille, hounded by Ege Pixari. This is Jovan Rod. From the left corner on Trejo Delgado, kicked it towards the right side. Van Bylen dropped it to Stone, out to Christensen. Rye, left-handed dribble drive on Oladele off the glass. Nielsen Skinner, Ege Pixari in stride and scoring again.
Second play by him, Danny. Same kind, other side.
5 points, last two possessions. Van Bylen is blocked by Trejo Delgado, which goes in as a foul. Third personal on Trejo Delgado with 4:12 to go.
You know, that was probably a sure bucket, so fouling him wasn't such a bad idea for that play. Of course, he'll probably put those in anyway, but didn't have much choice on that.
Tice Van Bylen made the first. This to make it a 1-point game. He doesn't. Good foul to take for Trejo Delgado in some respects.
Yes, it was.
He'll shoot the three. Popped out of the cylinder. Coquille. Closing down the lane. Stops. Exit Okafor. 4-3. No. Ege Pixari. On Christensen. With 3:45 to go. Trejo Delgado from the arm joint. Nielsen Skinner. Shoveled inside to Ege Pixari to Harper for three. You don't find it.
In and out. I think the ball was more than halfway down on that. It came back out.
Here's Coquille. Surrounded. Van Bylen. Exa Okafor goes for a lap. Coquille. He'll establish off his dribble. Christensen popped out. Unfriendly rims for both teams. Saints on ahead with 3 minutes left. Nielsen Skinner. And a foul for player control. Charged on Diego Trejo Delgado. That's his fourth personal. Miles Samuels is forced to check into the game for him. A timeout called with 2:59 left. Well, we thought it was going to be a close game, and we have gotten exactly as advertised. Well, will it come down to the last shot?
I'm sure St. Martin's doesn't want that to happen. They've seen that the last two games with these guys.
It has been storied, well documented. St. Martin's last two games against Simon Fraser. Heartbreaking buzzer beater thanks to Irish Coquille earlier this season. A game that took place on January the 18th. And then last year, late in the season, Emmanuel Oladele for Simon Fraser. The game-winning bucket with 0.3 of a second to hand Simon Fraser a crucial win. St. Martin's at the time was ranked 8th in the nation. So a lot of obstacles to overcome for this St. Martin's squad. They have gotten all they could handle so far tonight from Simon Fraser.
Sometimes a team just gets in your head, and you're telling yourself, I'm not going to mess up. I'm not going to mess up. I'm going to, and by virtuality, that's what you end up thinking so hard about that you perform it. So they just need to relax and play the kind of game they can play.
Well, yeah, looking at the other side, not going to make it happen. You're going to win this game.
Correct.
That's what you that's the view that you have to play in.
I agree with you on that, Danny.
Both teams with the same mindset. Simon Fraser down by 2. Christensen. High for Stone. Kokia puts in the 3. And Simon Fraser in front. Samuels looks for Jay-Sean Moore. Harper to Nielsen Skinner. Oladele fakes the 3. Closing inside. Emmanuel Oladele. Lobbed right back out for Nielsen Skinner. Harper for 3. No. Oladele, the offensive board. He can't put through the putback. Exa Okafor to Van Bylen. Kokia. 2:05 to go. Exa Okafor again to Stone. Kokia on Harper. Irish Kokia. Exa Okafor closing on inside. And to the free throw line, Toby Exa Okafor for Simon Fraser with 1:53 left. Toby Exa Okafor, 82% free throw shooter for Simon Fraser. Only a freshman, too. Again, Simon Fraser seeing a lot of their depth on full display with the absence of Luke Howard unavailable for this evening's game.
I think Harper was hoping for a charging foul on that play. It looked like he had position, but it all depends if the player's airborne before you set up. So referees viewed it as too late.
Exa Okafor misses on the 3, and it's a 2-point game with 1:48 to go. Jaden Nielsen Skinner on Stone. Lighthall surveys. Jaden Nielsen Skinner backs up. Jay-Sean Moore lost it. Exa Okafor came away with a steal for Simon Fraser. With a 2-point lead for the Red Leafs with 90 seconds to go. Ege Peksari pounded check into the game for St. Martin's. Kokia. Nielsen Skinner. With hand fighting. Kokia to Van Bylen. Stone. Kokia to Stone, to the corner. Christensen for 3, scores! Tate Christensen with the shot clock down to 1 has given Simon Fraser a 5-point lead with 62 seconds left. What a play from Tate Christensen.
St. Martin's is being forced into double-team scramble defense right now. And if you're patient enough, like Fraser was on that possession, there's somebody open, and they found it right there in the corner.
Tate Christensen, all of his scoring from beyond the arc. What
that
a
is
display
incredible.
For Tate Christensen. Irish Kokia, he's put up one heck of a game.
Christensen's 5 for 9 from the beyond the arc.
But for St. Martin's, well, it's academic. You have to score here. You have to come up with some sort of defensive stop. St. Martin's with their backs against the wall. A record of 11-1 at home. Their last loss came on November the 23rd in a turnover. Simon Fraser in the driver's seat. 49 seconds left. Miles Samuels commits the foul, which sends Simon Fraser to the free throw line. They are in the double bonus with 48 and a half to go. No, it's a 1-on-1. Next foul will put Simon Fraser in the double bonus. So a massive free throw for Tate Christensen, who hit the big three, and he's hit a huge free throw.
St. Martin's has to stop the clock, which is why they're taking fouls right now. You're hoping that, you know, as a player, you're going to get a payoff on that on free throws.
Christensen, clutch free throws, 2 of 2. Nielsen Skinner, he'll close inside, and foul with Dyson Lighthold making the 3. Irish Kokia commits the foul. 7-point game with 45 seconds left. Skinny, down the lane, finger roll and scoring. Counting the foul for Jaden Nielsen Skinner. 40 seconds left. Free throw conversion would make it a 4-point game.
I would expect or anticipate St. Martin's to come out in a full court press.
That scoring sequence from Jaden Nielsen Skinner ended a 10-0 scoring run by Simon Fraser. Talk about playing in the clutch. Simon Fraser's done that. 40 seconds left. Surrounded is Rye. He gets it away to Christensen, who breaks across half court, straight to the bucket, and foul. 31.8 to go.
Of course, Christensen has 17 points right now, and he's taken the leadership on scoring, him and Kokia, this game.
Again, Simon Fraser without Luke Howard, who averages 17 points a game. 6.5 boards additionally for Simon Fraser. Christensen puts in the free throw. Boy, how big has he been for Steve Hansen's side. Okafor.
Christensen normally averages 8 points a game. He has 18 right now.
What a performance. And when
he came to play tonight.
When stars aren't available, new ones come into the forefront. Tate Christensen has done that. He puts in both free throws. 6-point lead again for Simon Fraser. Nielsen Skinner quickly around Kokia, straight to the bucket and scoring. 4-point game, 27.9 to go. Rye harassed. Van Bylen. Ege picks, almost came away with a steal. Christensen on the 3-on-1, wide open, and the flush. Zach Stone. 6-point lead again. Oladele shoots the 3, popped out. Rebounded by Tate Christensen. Finally fouled with 7 seconds left. Simon Fraser in the driver's seat for an upset victory. What a night for Tate Christensen. You trust in your best free throw shooter. Christensen, far and away the best free throw shooter. 85% coming in.
That's whose hand you want the ball in if you're forced to foul.
Christensen misses his first free throw of the evening. So Simon Fraser, the win will up their record in conference play to 4-10. St. Martin's drops to 8-5. Christensen makes the back end.
Pushes his total to 20 points now.
Nielsen Skinner misses on the triple attempt. Final seconds trim away, and Simon Fraser has come up with an upset victory. Thanks to Tate Christensen's game-high 20 points, going for 5 threes in the game. Simon Fraser with an upset victory over St. Martin's, 67-60. What a performance from the visiting Red Leafs. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner closes with 14 points in the losing effort.
Pexari added 12 for the Saints. Those two are the only two in double figures.
We'll look at the scoring summary for St. Martin's. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner finishes in the scoring lead with 14 points. Also a team lead in assists with 4 assists and 3 steals. Gavin Gilstrap with 2 points. Emmanuel Oladele with 8. Jay-Sean Moore with 4. Omar Ege Pexari scores 12. Diego Trejo Delgado with 7. Jacob Harper with 5. And Dyson Lahall with 8 points. But in this game, St. Martin's, well, we talk about the rebound battle coming in, and although it was rather even, offensive rebounds just enough, 13-10 edge for the Saints, but Simon Fraser, they've been red hot with rebounding, but did not matter this evening. But for St. Martin's, they have to go to the drawing board now. What do you do next with Western Washington coming up?
You know, St. Martin's owned the paint. They outscored Fraser 32-14 in the paint. You would expect that with that kind of a performance and that high percentage shot that's in the paint, that the scoreboard would reflect a different outcome.
But it was, for Simon Fraser, Tate Christensen is the storyline. Irish Kokia with 15, Zach Stone with 10. But Tate Christensen, the highlight for Simon Fraser in the victory. Matthijs Van Bylen finishes out with 8 points. Jovan Rai with 7. And Toby Eze Okafor with 5 points. And Victor Bonsu with 2. But in the end, Tate Christensen truly is the hero for Simon Fraser. 20 points, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. What a showing for Tate Christensen.
Great shooting performance by him tonight. 5 for 9 from the three-point land and 5 for 6 from the stripe. That's solid shooting.
Solid shooting through and throughout. Simon Fraser will continue their road trip, tied for their longest road trip of the season. They'll head down south to take on Western Oregon. Start time of 4:15. Before next week, they'll be Carver Gym to take on Western Washington before closing out the home stretch against both Northwest Nazarene and Central Washington. For St. Martin's, with the loss, they drop to 8-5 in conference play, which sets up a battle for 4th place in the GNAC standings against Western Washington. Tip-off scheduled at 5:15 here on the Saints Digital Network. Last time out, Western Washington, a game-winning buzzer beater scored at the gun by Tijan Sane. He scored 38 points tonight for Western Washington against Western Oregon. Expect to see more of Tijan Sane on a Saturday. But that's the story here this evening. Although it ends in the first conference loss at home, Rick Wells, always is a pleasure to have you along for the ride.
Always is a pleasure to be here with you, Danny.
Special thank you to everyone who makes this broadcast possible, to our camera operator, Abby Halstead, and our SID, Matt Schwarzler. I'm Danny DeBach, saying so long and take care. And thanks for letting us be a part of your evening. Your final score, the Simon Fraser Red Leaves 67, St. Martin Saints 60. We'll see you next time here on the Saints Digital Network.